you're tuned in to the Family Case Files. I'm your host, V, and my co-host today is Connie Reguli. And we have a very special guest who is an activist. I mean, as far as I know, she's not just a victim of systems. She's someone who's been fighting back, and she's been making herself known in the media. I have Lydia Hubbell. Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And I know you guys have seen other lawyers on the show, but we'll have the lawyers on. We might cycle through some till we get the right fix, but you know, it's all in helping the children. I know everyone needs a chance to do their part and whatnot. So, firstly, you guys all know me already, so I want to talk about Connie and her Family Fort project.
So I am an attorney in Middle Tennessee. I've been an attorney for 25 years. I actually had a whole nother life before that. My family was in the restaurant business and started into law. Went back to law school late in life. Thought I was gonna. Thought, well, you know what? I'm a smart person and I'm organized and I ought to be able to be a decent lawyer. So went through all that process. I'm not gonna share all the horror stories here because I want to get to where I am now. But about 4 years ago, I put together on Facebook the Family Forward Project, and it is a group. It is a public group, and I did it so to have sort of a central platform for posting news about what's happening with CPS, about posting events, about drawing people out from states and internationally as well, all over, to find out what's going on with CPS all over the country. Because I started really kind of doing informal lobbying against this in about 2010. So, and actually maybe the year before that, and started talking to legislators and trying to tell the story. And I was so criticized because I was alone. And when you go out and you reach out to legislators, one of the first things you find out is they want to know who you're with. What that means in legislative speak is how much money do you have to put towards my campaign, or how many votes are you going to get me? So they were saying, who are you with? And I'm like, well, I'm with myself. And they're like, okay, well, we don't have any time for you. So I thought, surely I'm not alone. I knew I'd already worked with hundreds of families. I knew I was not alone in this. And that's one of the reasons I put Family Forward Project together, so we could create a critical mass and have a voice. So, in Proverbs it says you have to speak for those who are unable to speak for themselves. And so that is what we're doing. I've been to Washington. I've been to about 11 states. I'm trying to get sort of a key runner in each state. I'm working towards building an advocacy program. So, there's a lot of things going on, but just kind of really in a nutshell, and I know that didn't sound like a nutshell, but it is really in a nutshell, that's who I am and what we're doing.
And I know I have spoken to you before on Rachel Okie's podcast on Blog Talk Radio. But yes, we have Lydia Hubbell here, and I know you two are very familiar with each other. And so, Lydia, if you would let the audience know what troubles you were having with CPS.
Oh, well, my case is more of just a custody battle between two biological parents, and CPS has kind of been pulled in by my daughter's dad. But I've had enough experience to know how they work and how they trample all over people's rights, how they lie, how they don't even follow their own guidelines, and how they make up. I asked them about my daughter being on a CFTM and our child and family team meeting, and she's a child. It's such a C for child family team, and she's 10, and I knew somebody had someone younger than my daughter on there, and they're like, well, we don't include children under the age of 14, and I'm like, well, can you show me the rule? Oh, that's not the rule. That's just our practice. And and then so when they talk about being flexible enough to meet the family's needs, but it's really all about meeting their own needs. But yeah, so they're not the primary problem in my case is my daughter's dad and the judge not following the law, and but it's like CPS is the backup to that, and it's just so wrong because that's not what they're even ever. I mean, that's just horrible. I know so many people. There's a father in East Tennessee who knows the governor elect really well, and so his experience has been, DCS or CPS being pulled into his custody situation, and that's kind of his focus, and so that's where we've been with that. So there's so many different stories, and I've met with different. Of course, Connie got a lot more experience than I do, but I see as a citizen, I see not just in my case, I see how they lie, and it's the same thing. They lie and they don't put the children first, and they don't follow the law or their own regulations. I've seen a lot of that. None of it is kind, but I've seen it firsthand just as a citizen, and she's seen it as a lawyer, and it's bad. It's bad here in Tennessee.
Well, Connie, can you add a little bit more detail into that?
Well, so, and I'm an instructor type of person, and a lot of times I like to have a whiteboard so I can start drawing pictures. But, let me say something about what Lydia said, because, sometimes people contact me and they say what's happened to them from a layperson's perspective. And people sometimes think that because I'm a lawyer, I wouldn't have those same experiences. But let's talk specifically about what she mentioned, which is the policy, practice, law, how that all intertwines. And I was actually doing some research yesterday, historic research on Tennessee's DCS, and was a little bit appalled about what I found. And I want to talk about how that plays into this. But let's just, if you think about, we kind of have to lay this out, three branches of government. And of course, we have the executive, judicial, and legislative branch. And so the legislative branch is the one who is supposed to write the law. Okay, write the law. A bill is put in front of the General Assembly. They have committee meetings about it. They consider the budget, and then they write a law. Those become statutes. And then we have the executive branch. So the executive branch is the branch that has the agency. So the governor the governor didn't create the agency. The legislative branch created the agency. So the governor, though, gets to pick the head of the agency, and then the head of that agency is giving an incredible amount of power. And let me tell you how much power. I'm going to come back to that. Then we're going to talk about the judicial branch. So the judicial branch is supposed to look at the facts, rule on if there's a dispute between the facts, decide which fact is more true, and then apply the law. Okay, so they're supposed to apply. They're not supposed to write the law. They're supposed to apply the law. Now, the rules of the court are written generally by lawyers, Supreme Court, but any rules, that is rules of evidence, rules of civil procedure, they have to be approved by the legislative branch. So now let me get back to the executive branch. So the executive branch gets to, so this agency's been created, and the governor has the right to pick the commissioner, and let me tell you how much power the commissioner has. The commissioner, I was just reading that statute again yesterday, the commissioner of the agency has the power to adjudicate. Okay, now they have deputy commissioners and they appoint their own administrative judges within the agency, but the statute written by the legislature says that the commissioner in the executive branch has the power to adjudicate, which is a judicial branch function. Are you following me so far? This is like eeny, meeny, miny, moe. 3 branches of government, and this is what's happened. Not only that, it says in the statute written by the legislative branch that the executive branch commissioner, if the executive branch commissioner wants a subpoena issued, the judge in the judicial branch is required to issue that subpoena in behalf of that executive branch for the purposes of a hearing within the executive branch itself. So I am all about separation of powers. There's a reason why we have three different agencies. Now, not only so that executive branch agency can also do some other things. They can create their own rules. Okay, the rules are they're under their administrative, and they become administrative rules. All right, so you have the rules, and then you have the administrative policies and procedures, the APP, and then you have the best practices manual. Let's see, what else do you have? And then you have obviously these, which I just found out about recently. You have these secret memorandums that are circulated within the agency that tell people how to do certain things and what they should do and shouldn't do, that do not appear in the administrative policies and procedures or the rules. So let's just take, for instance, what Lydia said about the CFTM meeting. Now, I go to a CFTM meeting, and DCS starts yakking about, well, the parent needs to do this and this and this and this, and as soon as I open my mouth, something like, if it's a teenager, if I say something like, well, maybe the teenager needs to be drug screened, oh, no, this is not about the child, this is about the parents. That's what they tell me. Okay, so I say number one, then that's when I say, well, the name of it is Child and Family Teen Meeting. Okay, so we got a couple things here. We've got the name child in it, and we have the name teen in it. So let's just knock the teen out of it, because there's nothing that has to do with the teen in here. And let's just kind of knock the child thing out of here. Why don't you just call it a parent requisition meeting, right? Because it is what we're going to require of the parent before they ever have a parental relationship. And not only that, let me tell you, those things are created as a requisite before a parent has ever been adjudicated by a court as being a parent that has abused or neglected their child. So I have said the same thing. I said, this is not a teen meeting, so get that out of here. I record them. Oh my gosh. Now they're all mad because I record them. This started in about 2000. Let's see, what year did I start that? About 2013 probably. I went with some parents to a child and family teen meeting. I record everything. I recorded everything since 2009, the beginning of 2009, because some things happened in a courtroom I was not happy about, and everybody forgot what happened. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to carry a stinking little digital recorder, which I download everything on my computer. I put the date on it. I put it in the case file.
Very smart. Very smart. You know how I feel about documentation.
Yeah. So anyway, so I pulled out my recorder. This is about 5 years ago, and I put it right on the table. No secret recording. I'm not secretive about it. Put it right on the table, and I turn it on. And they're like, you can't record this meeting. I go, well, I'm going to record this meeting. And there's like, well, we're not going to have a meeting then. I said, well, tell me where it says I can't record the meeting. And they said, well, it's a confidential meeting. And I said, look, I'm going to tell you something. You have somebody over there on the other side of this table making notes about what's occurring in this meeting, and I have nothing to rely on other than what's going to be said in here as to what's going to be reflected in those notes. And you're going to put those notes in the permanent file of the parent. So I'm going to record the meeting. And so they stop the meeting. They go out. They get their legal counsel. I go in with legal counsel in this little legal counsel, district office. Actually, it was Davidson County, right where Lydia's dealing with. I go into the attorney's office. I said, I'm going to record the meeting. I said, you can call who you want to, but I'm going to record the meeting. And so they make some phone calls, call legal or whatever. And sure enough, I was able to record the meeting. I recorded every meeting since. Here's another thing on those CFTM meetings. It says they have you sign this confidentiality agreement, right? So, I used to sign those, and I used to have my clients sign those, that this meeting is confidential. And then we go into court. And, some DCS worker gets up on the stand and starts telling the judge that the parent wasn't very cooperative in the CFTM meeting, that they were, they were hostile and arrogant. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. That meeting was confidential. And they go, well, it's not confidential as to this proceeding. I go, what? So now I refuse to sign confidentiality agreements, and I refuse to allow my client.
Yes.
So then I go to a meeting, and I'm like, we're not signing a confidentiality agreement because to you it's not confidential, so we're not going to sign it.
Right.
And they're like, well, then we can't talk about anything in here. And I'm like, well, okay, we can't talk about the child in here if it's not going to be confidential. I'm like, all right, there's no law that says I have to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Right. Well, Connie, the thing is, I was actually discussing with Lydia off the air was, Lydia was saying that the court was angry because Lydia was mentioning her daughter's name, yet the daughter doesn't mind or care, but the court doesn't like it, and it basically points out a criminal element, something that's being done wrong. If all parties outside of the court system don't care, then it really points out that there is some criminality to what's going on. I mean, the family court system already does everything behind closed doors. For one, you got a big building uh, downtown that you have to go into. All the proceedings happen behind closed doors. There are gag orders put out. Criminals. When criminals operate, when someone's robbing a bank, they, they close the doors, they lock the doors, they make everyone inside shut up. They take what they want and they leave. And it's just the whole the way the court system acts like criminals. They're supposed to be the law, and they're not being the law because no one is supporting what they're doing. They're doing what they want to do. I want to ask you. You're speaking about these agencies. Who are funding these agencies, by the way?
Well, that our tax dollars, we are.
So these agencies that are funded by us are creating their own rules, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't get a say in the rules that they're creating.
Look, I've been in the courtroom before, and and whenever, a lot of times when I go into the courtroom, they bring about 3 or 4 or 5 other attorneys on the other side from the state agency. I stood in the juvenile courtroom with my court client one time, and we were on the record, and it was a videotape, and we had a court recorder there. It may have been videotape, but anyway, when I started, I said, I introduced myself and my client, and the other side went through, and I just said, for the record, I just want to put on the record that my client is paying for me to be here, and on the other side of this room, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on the taxpayer's payroll, and there's something about this that just doesn't seem quite fair. And so, it's billions of dollars. We know that now. It's billions. It's an $18 billion business, just the foster care part of it. That doesn't even touch the rest of it. But it's our money. It's our money. It's our hard-working money. I pay a lot of freaking taxes. My money is going to destroy families, and I don't like that. And that's one of the reasons. And these people are so freaking arrogant. They don't even draw that connection. They just think, I don't know where they think the money comes from that writes their paycheck, but it comes from me, and it comes from you. It's our tax dollars.
Well, it's our tax dollars that is ultimately messing everything up. Okay, we had our independence from Britain because why? Tea and taxes, right? And so here we have the American government taxing us for everything. And we're spending taxes on bombs being dropped on third world countries, creating, orphans, and which those children they're stealing in mass. Our tax dollars goes to militarizing our police and creating police brutality. We're funding the evil. We're funding terrorism across the board. It's not just the family courtroom. But I want to get back more into Lydia's case here. I know you guys have a previous relationship, but I want to know more of what your issue was in the courtroom, Lydia, and what the advice that you gave her, Connie.
Well, for one thing is, I've heard this from Connie and from lots of lawyers, is don't give them ammunition. Don't do something they don't like. Whether it's legal or well, Even if it's constitutionally protected, that they say, well, don't bring up your rights. It makes it look like your rights to more than your child. And like right now, I'm being very outspoken, and I'm putting out my daughter's picture and her name and her voice, and recordings of phone calls she's had with me. And I think from my perspective, it's important to give her a voice. And she's a real person. She's not just a number. Or I want people to see her face. I want people to hear her voice. I want people to know her name. I want them to hear her cries for help. And I want to try to click my own name and say, well, y'all are saying this and this and this, and here's my proof that you're lying. But I get this retaliation, and they go to court and they'll say, this is what the mother's doing. And I'm like, what does it have to do with my daughter's best interests? And it's just the point that they, it's kind of a confidentiality thing, because they'll say, well, and I did ask my daughter if, because I had one judge said, do you consider your daughter's privacy rights, and if you asked her permission to play these phone calls? And I'm like, I did not ask her permission, but I know her pretty well. I didn't think she'd mind, but I'll ask her just to make sure. And she didn't. She says, I don't really care, but my dad's shaking his head no. He said he doesn't want me to he doesn't want her to have a voice. So I'm in a dilemma between and I don't think there's a lawyer in town who would be telling me to be doing some of the things I'm doing. And but that's because it makes them mad. And even if there's not a restraining order restraining that particular activity, if the lawyers are going to court and saying, well, this is a terrible thing, and they're already looking for things to criticize me for, so they'll pretend like there's a connection there between my activity and my daughter's well-being, and they don't like it. And then when I keep doing stuff they don't like, they just don't like it more. But I don't feel like it's taken me any farther away from my daughter, because I don't think there's anything. There's no way to please them. Because when I started out, I wasn't complaining. I wasn't posting stuff on Facebook because there wasn't really anything to complain about, because I trusted the system and thought, well, it was just a misunderstanding, and they'll eventually get it right. And then when I saw how corrupt it is, I wanted to tell the whole world. And I don't feel like I have anything to lose. And then I've had lawyers say, well, you do have something to lose. And I'm like, well, nothing. They took the most important thing away from me. And, I'm doing some weird stuff, and it doesn't look in the short term that it's being productive in any way, but it makes me feel like I'm making an effort and giving my daughter a voice, and hoping to give people a reason to be interested. And but if it makes the judges mad, that's just where I'm at. They say you don't want to get to do anything that the judge doesn't like. You don't want to go in and say, well, I'm not gonna swear to tell the truth, because this my adversary, he keeps swearing he's telling the truth and he's lying like the devil, and y'all don't seem to care, so why even do the oath? So doing stuff like that, I would not advise anybody to do a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, but and no lawyer would. I know no lawyer would, but
well, you touched on something there.
I'm just frustrated, and I feel like doing something other people don't do, because what they've been doing, it hasn't helped. So
well, you touched on something there, and Connie also agree with me on this one. But people have a lot of misplaced trust in the system. If the system actually worked, if the system was all good and trustworthy, we wouldn't need lawyers. So I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, Connie, about that statement, but I've got to really point out the bigger picture here, and So, Connie, how did you end up helping Lydia? Because I know you've given her a lot of legal advice.
Okay, so I'm going to, and first of all, I'm going to say, Lydia invited me to come on, and I have, represented her for a period of time. I'm going to assume she's okay with me talking about it. Is that right?
I'm an open book. You can talk
Okay.
nothing confidential. Don't have to worry about that.
Okay, so because I'm always very cautious about that, but I want to address first, Bill, the comment you made about if we trusted it. I mean, if everything worked as it should, we wouldn't need lawyers. I mean, I think that, and this is kind of what I thought. I mean, the purpose of a lawyer going in was really to really just kind of more of an advocate for the process. So in an ideal world, the lawyers would be the ones who would, you still have to understand evidence, and there are reasons for the rules of evidence. It's so, for instance, Lydia can't walk in and say, my neighbor said, my daughter's father had his rifle out and shooting people on the street. I mean, that's hearsay, and so there are evidentiary rules about getting documents in, about hearsay, about credibility, things like that. That you've got to know those rules. You've got to know the rules of evidence. And then there's civil procedure rules, which are about how you get a complaint done, how you get a subpoena issued, what a declaratory judgment is, what happens when you get a final order. I mean, but it's a matter of administering the proceeding. Sadly, the courts, and I'm just going to tell you broadly, and this is 25 years of experience. There are 95 counties in Tennessee. I've probably been in at least a third of those counties. I've been in 3 different states where I've worked, and judges they're not good at understanding abuse. They're not good at understanding abuse, and so whatever you do, if you go in where there's an abusive situation, it's really, really hard to get the judge to understand kind of that process and how it affects what's happened. And I'm just going to tell you, I know, I've helped Lydia for a period of time, and before I became involved, there was a situation that came up. It ended up getting her arrested. Maybe not the best judgment at the time that she did it, but honestly, I mean, it's not really criminal. I mean, she didn't go rob a bank or something. She made a choice based upon what her concern was about her daughter at the time. And I think it was aggravated criminal trespassing. They arrested you. Is that correct? Okay.
Well, they arrested me actually for domestic assault, but then they tagged on the aggravated criminal trespassing when it came back from the grand jury, and that's what the jury actually was. They figured I'd done something wrong, but they knew it wasn't domestic assault, so they went okay.
Yes. Okay, so she was, yeah, I mean, and she was on his property, etc. But anyway, it's not criminal like I said, she didn't murder anybody, she didn't rob a bank, she didn't steal $100,000. I mean, these are laws that are created. It's really was created as property interest. So, she made it. That happened for better or for worse, and that one thing tainted her whole case because they were able to twist that event as something about her being overly aggressive, crazy, out of control, and they used that one thing, which happened before I got involved, triggered this series of events that happened that ultimately, and then they would pile on something else, and he did an order of protection, and he had arrested multiple times.
Well, for the audience sake, all those claims there, those all mean standing up for your rights. In other words.
Well, but what they were able to do with that, the way they used that, was to grossly interfere with her relationship with her daughter. Grossly interfere. And her daughter suffered. I mean, it was very, very clear in the evidence that we put before the court that her daughter was suffering from trauma. And I mean, and we had a psychologist that say that trauma is not Lydia's fault. The school said, we can't pin it on Lydia. And then as a matter of fact, her daughter had a period of really bad trauma reactions. And, then they cut Lydia off for like 8 weeks, and her daughter seemed to be like not having those trauma reactions. And then 3 weeks later, when she's not even seeing her mom, she's having those trauma reactions again. I mean, and they're very, very disturbing reactions. And so we go back to court, and they thought they were going to be able to come into court and go, well, we cut mom off, and she's now everything's all hunky dory now, and it wasn't true. And so, they were never able to really nail it on Lydia that she'd caused any psychological harm to her daughter in any way. And and yet, because, Lydia was persistent and she didn't back down. And unfortunately, a lot of parents, just will back down or give up or can't stand up for themselves, or, Lydia's willing to stand up for herself in court if she has to. So, this is, and the guardian ad litem has taken a weird, approach to this that I'm very distraught over. And, and then DCS gets involved. And, DCS, although we thought they'd be a third party with a voice of reason, DCS is never the voice of reason. Did I nail it, Lydia, pretty much?
Yes, I think so. That was good. Good summary.
Well, I feel as though people who are standing up for their rights, how can you be called crazy, aggressive? I mean, if you have a tyrannical government and they're coming to kick in your door to your house and steal your family members, and you pull out a gun and defend yourself and your family, and, next thing you know, you're a crazed terrorist, you're a killer, it's just the aggression put towards people, and people defend themselves. The government wants to paint them absolutely insane. I know I'm working with a lot of Standing Rock people, a lot of pipeline activists, and for those that say, well, we're going to be here, we're going to block you, and we're going to stop you, a lot of those Native Americans are being arrested for terroristic threats, when in fact the government is doing the terrorism. So I find that the accusatory ability of these government, the court systems, to be outrageous, and there needs to be something done about that.
Well, and I would tell you that I know that our Family Forward Project is a public group. I tell people that all the time. It's being stalked by the agencies, by, particularly over me and some of my clients. They can go into the Family Forward Project and, look at what I'm posting and what comments are coming up. And I've actually been accused of that the Family Forward Project is being used to incite violent behavior against CPS. That's the position they've taken, and trying to condemn me for being publicly active on it. So, and it's just, people are mad. I mean, people are mad. I mean, every once in a while, yesterday I did it again. I watched the Nancy Schaefer speech, and there's a couple of them posted on YouTube. One of them is the international speech, and the other one, which I like the other one better, and I don't know where she was, but I mean, she just nailed it. She talked about how horrible it was and how they were stealing children, and gosh, a year later she was dead. But once in a while I watch Nancy Schaefer give her speech just to get my gumption all built back up again. But people are mad. We're mad, and they've gotten children, and people whose children are taken away from them are so compromised emotionally. They're frozen so much, and it's really hard to back away just a little bit and say they're so desperate. And in that desperation, I have some clients that talk. They just talk and talk and talk all the time. And so in their desperation, they're talking to the foster mom, and they're yakking with the CPS worker, and all these things that are all going to be used against them. So, and DCS is deceptive and arrogant. And I had a family I was going to court with just about a week ago, and the family came to me because they said, we've done everything, we need to get our child back. And I had a meeting with them. I was like, tell me what you did, tell me what you accomplished. And then I get up to court with them, and DCS knew I was going to be helping these parents. I was going to be working with these parents. Instead of sending me the court report in advance so I could take a look at it, they wait until I get to court, and then they hand me this piece of paper. They didn't even have a copy for me. One of the DCS workers who had it folded it all up, and it was all nasty looking, and she'd played with it. She like goes, "Oh, we didn't make you a copy, so you can have mine." I'm like, "Geez, what did you blow your nose with it or something?" And so I'm
Wow.
going at it, and they're like saying non-compliant, non-compliant, non-compliant. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "What?" I'm like, so, I mean, they wouldn't even give you a straight answer. Then I find out that this DCS supervisor, who first they introduced me with her maiden name, and then she goes, "Oh, no, no, now my name is such and such." And I'm not going to mention her name on here. I'll call her out some point, but
Oh,
it
I
was just
hope you
their
do.
name.
I really hope you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was like, we need to create a CBS worker hall of shame. But anyway,
There
so
is one.
then I realized that this is the same supervisor that I ran into in a different county 2 or 3 years ago, who refused to give the children to the grandparents. And ultimately, the grandparents got the kids because she had sent some nasty email that I got a hold of about, these grandparents are never going to get these kids. It's the same freaking DCS worker in another county who's acting this way. When I asked the court to have a little hearing so I could cross-examine her on the record about what the parents did and what they didn't do and what they needed to do, and she's just, she would cut me off. She wouldn't let me finish my questions. I'm like, "Please stop until I finish my question." They are horrible, arrogant people, and they will not work with you. I mean, in all my 25 years, I've probably met 5 that have a bit of sense about it, and a lot of those are not even there. I mean, I can tell you one right now, and the jury's still out on her. I'm not even sure she's going to follow through and be decent, but there, and they have really, they have high turnover. The decent ones leave, and what you have left that move up this ladder for promotion, it is the peer principal. I'm a child of the '60s, so I know all these. I probably have more history than the rest of you, but the Peter Principle was a big book that came out in the early '70s. It talked about people fail their way to the top, right? And they just stumble over things, and it's because they're such sycophants and compliant with the poor administration that they get promotions to be higher in rank and guard. And that's exactly what's happened with DCX. These supervisors are horrible, horrible people. I can't think of one that I respect.
Well, for those who are actually familiar with my media, know what I'm going to say. And it's about psychopathy. The psychopaths tend to make it very high up in social, political positions in life. So, um, I want to say that you guys have been very excellent for the show. I would thank you both for coming on. Uh, and hopefully I can have Connie more on the show as a regular co-host. And I know Lydia. Hopefully you'll be an advocate of the show and help us find more people that need help.
Oh man, there's plenty of people out there, but it's like you said, people need to have their cases organized and have their case file and I've got my stuff. It's just not digitized or whatever. Not all of it is, but and I also think it's good to have like a one-page summary of your and timelines. Oh yeah, Connie, that's one of the advocacy things I think we need to talk about. And Jennifer Wynn, who's one of Connie and my best friend, best favorite people in the world. When somebody came to her for help, it just, if you can be concise and have your have the timeline, make it easy for somebody to figure out what's going on. I think that's probably good for people doing shows like this and anybody that you're asking for to help you out. But Connie, can you say anything real quick about your plans for your advocacy program?
Sure.
Well,
I don't know
is
if
there
you
a way
want
for
to
people
show
to
for another
donate?
show.
Is there a way for people to donate and get involved, I mean, I'll put the link in the show.
Okay, yeah. So the Family Forward Project is just our social media platform. The Family Forward Foundation is a 501c3, and there is a website, thefamilyforwardfoundation.com. What only thing I have really pushed as far as donations so far is we have certain projects that we have done. We did a postcard project, we did a letter project. I've got a little book project I want to do, but right now I'm an attorney. I work full time. I have a full time practice. I am giving my time. I cannot take individual cases pro bono because that's not my life. My advocacy is more generally related. I do give people some advice, just kind of general advice. I am creating, I do lives, and you can find my lives on the Family Forward Project, or I have a lot of videos up on YouTube that people can find just by searching. There's a lot of information on there, a ton of information. People need to learn to talk the talk before they can walk the walk. So they need to have an understanding, and that's one of the things that I think that because I have so much knowledge that I'm able to put that out there in a fashion that people can begin to understand and articulate. One of my videos that has some of the best views is like an hour and 45-minute video where I did a small meeting in my office and we went down and laid out civil rights, etc. So and then I have some others that are very instructional. As part of what we're doing to move forward is we're continuing to do state events in organized states. I'm going to Arkansas, December 9th and 10th, and on the 10th in Little Rock, Arkansas, we're going to have a protest and a meeting at the legislative plaza there, and that is posted up in Family Forward Project. For expenses, I mean, I would appreciate donations for expenses because I travel and have to have a hotel, and sometimes I fly, sometimes I drive. So any donations would actually be for those types of hard costs. I'm not taking any personal promotion fees or anything out of that. I am creating, I've got a platform that I've selected to do training modules, and I'm going to do an advocacy 16 module advocacy training, and then there's another training set that I have that I'm going to get set up through a platform, and some of those will probably have a small fee attached to them.
But on the familyforwardfoundation.com, there is a donate button,
Right.
correct?
Yes.
And there has been a fundraiser on Facebook too. But yeah, I think probably if anybody wants to donate, I think probably that going to familyforwardfoundation.com, that might be. That's all here.
Right. And the other thing is that, through Facebook, you can donate your birthday. And Family Forward Foundation is listed with Facebook. There are two, just make sure you pick the Tennessee one. There's something up in New Hampshire. I haven't been able to identify what it is, but there's something else that has Family Forward there. So if you want to donate your birthday, the Facebook donation thing is a little complex as far as from my end of receiving that money, but Facebook holds it for like 60 days, which is really pretty disgusting. But I'm sure they're making interest on billions of dollars of people donating for birthday, but we do get it. So you can donate your birthday, and people, $10, $20, $30, and then through the foundation, the postcard project, I actually still have some postcards left. I'll probably bring that up. I'm going to do a live later today as well. So people can donate to help me pay for the postcards I've already paid for, or they can buy some postcards and send them out themselves.
We're all in this together, and this is what it's all about. So this has been a wonderful episode of Family Case Files. I want to again thank you, wonderful ladies, for joining me, and please catch us. We're not on a schedule. My network's not going to have a schedule, but please subscribe. I gotta get used to saying that, actually. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and you'll get notifications when you hit that little bell button, and we'll get this thing going. So, catch you guys next time.
Thank you.